Good morning. I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Rules and Operations Committee for July 22nd, 2025. The time is 11 a.m. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Councilmember Denson.
Excused.
Councilmember Ayala. Here. Councilmember Herrera.
Here.
Councilmember Hitchin.
Here.
You have 3 members present.
With 3 members present, we do have a quorum. Thank you all for joining us. Are there any objections to the agenda as presented this morning? Normal operations for our special meeting. Seeing none, we'll consider it approved. That brings us to proclamation review. Mr. Dominique.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Brian Dominique, council staff. In your packet today, there is a proclamation for Farmers Market Week. This was last before the council at its Tuesday study session last week. There have been no changes to the proclamation since then.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Not seeing any, so we will move on to, we have a second. Okay, never mind. Is that the only one, Mr. Dominique?
I believe so. I think we're going through a different route for the Sally.
That's right. We had that conversation. Never mind. We're good. Okay. Thursday was so long ago, everybody.
I know.
So, okay. So we are good. So that brings us to our meeting schedule for this next week. We will go to Ms. Long to brief.
Thank you and good morning. This is your meeting scheduled for July 28th through August 1st. On Monday, the 28th, beginning at 10 a.m., you have your Rules and Operations Committee meeting. You'll be approving the meeting schedule for the week of August 4th through the 8th and the council agenda for August 5th. There is one proposal on that agenda, and it is pending approval on today's consent, and that's our 2025-181. This is adopting the preliminary 2026-2027 biennial budget priorities and requesting that the executive support these priorities in the biennial budget. This has an August 5th, the final hearing date. At 11 a.m. on Monday is your regular Monday study session. There is, in addition to your usual items, there is one grant to review, and that's the Transportation Improvement Board Active Transportation Program, Safe Routes to School. This is for 104th Street East, and that is for review on Monday. And then the other item that's in addition to your usual agenda items is the supplemental budget briefing with Julie Demuth. At 1:30 on Monday is a Public Safety Committee meeting. We have 2 presentations. The first is a 4th of July debrief with the fire marshal. And next is the crime trends update, and that will be with the sheriff's department. On Tuesday, July 29th, beginning at 9:30, you have a special meeting of the Health and Human Services Committee. There are 2 discussion items on that agenda. The first is an action mapping project that will be presented by Matthew Kelly from the University of Washington, Tacoma. And the next is the Mockingbird Society. We have 2 speakers from that group, Thea Phoenix and Susie Zhang. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. At noon on Tuesday is your regular Tuesday study session. You have one additional item under other business, and that is the Pierce Transit Long Range Plan Destination 2045 presentation. And at 3 p.m. is your regular council meeting. On Wednesday, July 30th, you do have a committee of the whole, and that agenda will be distributed separately. So that is the meeting schedule for July 28th through August 1st.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the meeting schedule as presented? We're going to do a little bit of a kind of a debrief on the item that will be before rules around our budget priorities, just to give the council more time since it's going to go to rules. So we'll actually do that during study session today, because the hope, as you saw, the scheduled date is to get it done prior to actually amending our current budget, since these are priorities for the next budget. We're trying to not confuse the 2, and so trying to not have them happen at the same time. So we are trying to manage some scheduling, so to give everybody opportunities, but I will go to Vice Chair Herrera for a motion.
Chair, I move approval of the meeting schedule for the week of July 28th through the 1st of August, 2025, as presented.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the meeting schedule for the week of July 8 to August 1. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That brings us to our council agenda for July 29th, 2025. Ms. Long.
All right, thank you. So this is your council meeting agenda for the regular meeting on July 29th. We'll start with your consent agenda. You have a couple of items for introduction and scheduling. Under ordinances, you have O 2025-525, and this is recodifying Chapter 18A68 of the code to Chapter 4.60 of the code. And this is the multifamily housing incentive areas. So that's a straight, just recodification proposal. You'll be referring this to rules and setting the final for August 26th. Under resolutions, you have R 2025-180, and this is updating the Housing and Related Services Fund's 6-year advisory expenditure and implementation plan. You'll be referring this to Health and Human Services and setting the final for August 26th as well. Under final action, you have 2 resolutions. First up is R 2025-178. This is confirming the reappointment of 1 existing member to the Pierce County Planning Commission. The other is R 2025-179, and this is confirming the appointment of a new member to the Pierce County Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission. You have 1 grant on this agenda, and this is pending review at the previous day's Monday study session. Again, that's the Transportation Improvement Board Active Transportation Program, Safe Routes to School, 104th Street East grant application. Moving to Section 7, you have 1 proclamation, and that is proclaiming August 3rd through the 9th as Farmers Market Week in Pierce County. And that was requested by council members Ayala, Cruver, Denson, and Herrera. There are no resolutions on this agenda, so we'll move right to Section 9 ordinances, and you have 1 item here. It's O 2025-520, and this is authorizing the approval of applications for open space classification. You'll see the application numbers listed in the title there, and that is for final, and those are your agenda items for your regular meeting on July 29th.
Thank you very much. I appreciate work there. Are there any questions on this agenda? Seeing none, Vice Chair Herrera for a motion.
Chair, move to approval of the council agenda for July 29th, 2025.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the council agenda for July 29, 2025. Any further discussion? Mr. Taylor, before we vote? Okay, I thought that's, okay. Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Taylor with other businesses. I think what you were grabbing the microphone for.
Thank you. So good morning. Your packet includes a memorandum that summarizes proposed changes to the position description for the senior clerk role in the council clerk series. The packet also includes the revised position description itself. That information can be found at beginning at page 13 in your packet. The position description was reviewed by the Chief of Staff and the clerk to the council in anticipation of reestablishing the role of senior clerk in the clerk series. Council should know that the clerk team has been without the senior clerk role for approximately 5 years. Reestablishment of this role is seen as important for the succession planning for the clerk to the council. Reestablishing the role will enable formal delegation of responsibilities during times of clerk absence. It also supports professional development within the clerk team. Also note that providing the opportunity for clerks within the team to attain the senior clerk level also supports retention of staff and recruitment of new staff. So the Chief of Staff and the clerk to the council see it as an important step for our office. Proposed changes to the position description include a change to the reporting structure, making it clear that the senior clerk would report to the clerk to the council rather than Chief of Staff, consistent with the current organizational structure for our office. Would recognize that the senior clerk could be designated as deputy clerk, which is an industry standard in the municipal clerk world, that there is a designated deputy clerk. That deputy clerk is authorized to act on behalf of the clerk when the clerk is absent. modifies language regarding the certified municipal clerk credential, which is kind of the gold standard credential for municipal clerks, indicating that attainment of that credential is preferred rather than required. It's a very challenging credential, takes many years and a lot of effort to obtain. Still preferred, however. The position description adds language that makes it clear that it's expected that someone in the senior clerk role will demonstrate substantial progress towards obtaining that credential. Modifies scope of duties to indicate that the senior clerk can serve or may be designated as a lead worker. Also may support some of the higher profile functions in the office, including the budget process, and can be designated as backup for code codification duties, for instance. Minimum qualifications language is updated just to be consistent with the form that's used across county government now in position descriptions. So rules is being briefed on the position description changes in accordance with the administrative guidelines for this office. Those administrative guidelines indicate that your committee may periodically review job descriptions and employee classifications, but the administrative guidelines do not require formal action on the part of the Rules Committee, so formal approval isn't necessary. I am presenting this information to you today, obviously, though, for questions, and if you had any concerns, this is an opportunity to voice those concerns. I will note, just as a footnote, that promotions to the role of senior clerk would be considered separately. At a later date, they'll follow the promotion procedures that are set forth in the administrative guidelines. Those procedures do require that promotion recommendations be presented to the Rules and Operations Committee for approval. So any promotions into the role of senior clerk would have to come back before this committee for formal action. I do have our clerk to the council, Ms. Stephanie Call, with me today to help answer any questions, should you have them regarding this information. I'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you for your work on this. And to be clear, we are not adding a new position to our overarching. The goal is to create kind of pathways within the clerks team like we have in the policy team. So we aren't adding an FTE to the team. So looking for questions. Vice Chair Herrera.
Just I guess a history lesson on why 5 years we didn't have one, or was there a reason? I don't know.
I don't have all the specific reasons why that role was essentially discontinued. It was a leadership decision 5+ years ago under a prior administration. As the chair pointed out, what we're seeking here is, I guess, parity with all the teams in the office that have this progressive opportunity within their profession. The clerk team currently doesn't have that opportunity, so we're trying to rectify that. But as far as the rationale behind eliminating it previously, I really can't speak to that, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Ms. Call, anything you want to add to the conversation? You were here as a phone a friend.
Right, exactly.
Always good to have that. Okay. So there isn't any action we're taking until any motion comes before us presented by Mr. Taylor or Ms. Call on an action where they're recommending, but we're being made aware of, and they'll be available if any of our colleagues have questions as well, is my understanding.
That is correct.
Okay. So not seeing anything else, is there any other business before us this morning? Okay, seeing no other business before us in Rules and Operations, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.